Hi everyone, I'm Stu.
I'm Sarah, and welcome back to the 350 Bird Challenge.
We've come to a spot where we've heard there's lots of least bitterns. Can we find one? Because we haven't seen one yet this year. Okay everyone, welcome back. We had planned to do a nice cottage weekend away, have a bit of a rest, but then we saw alerts of least bitterns and we couldn't resist coming out to do a little bit of birding, and therefore here is a video for you. Sarah, where are we today?
We are at Ross Road Marsh.
We're hopeful of getting least bitten. As mentioned, we haven't seen one yet, and that will be great for the 350 bird challenge. So let's take a look around this marsh and see if we can pick anything out.
The marsh we're exploring is in eastern Ontario, a little to the south of Pembroke. We were actually staying at Golden Lake for a few days to relax and celebrate Sarah's birthday. A little more on that later, but first, it didn't take long to see the least bittern, thanks to a little bit of help.
A quick shout out to our fellow birder Logan, who we've bumped into a couple of times on our travels. He was here when we arrived and he knew where the least bitten was, or one of them at that particular time, and he took Sarah straight to it. So thanks Logan for helping us with a least bitten and a new bird for our bird challenge.
Pretty good views of an otherwise quite secretive bird, perhaps helped a little by this being a bit of a goofy and naive juvenile. You can tell by the equally goofy hairstyle. There were actually a few least bitterns around, likely at least one family group. Judging by the neck, bill and throat movements, it seems this bittern has a recent catch and is quietly working it down before the next meal. The least bittern lives up to its name. It's the smallest member of the heron family in North America, and it doesn't actually weigh much more than a starling. Most of the size that you see is just neck and feathers. Their golden buff plumage, broken by darker patches, blends excellently with cattails, making them one of the most elusive birds in the marsh. Watch how it stretches its neck skyward, a classic bittern trick. By pointing its bill towards the sky and freezing, it mimics the vertical lines of marsh plants. They will even sway a little to imitate cattails shifting in the breeze. By late July here in Ontario, many least bitterns have already hatched. The eggs take about 3 weeks to incubate, and within another couple of weeks, the chicks are scrambling up the reeds. By the time we reach the end of July and into August, the young are fledging, looking a little scruffy with that spiky punk hairstyle of downy feathers on top. They're beginning to hunt for themselves now, though they're still learning the stealth and patience that their parents have perfected.
I like his mohawk.
Oh yeah, it's got a lot of fuzz on its head.
Yeah.
Wow guys, loads of least bitterns, and perhaps our favourite one is the juvenile, which has a nice spiky haircut, but really good looks at least bitterns here, perhaps some of our best looks.
It wasn't just least bitterns, here's a soarer too. This marsh was pretty productive for us this morning. All around the marsh were dozens of gallinules, including this parent and juvenile, learning the ropes when it comes to finding the best snacks. Life above the marsh too, an eastern kingbird. We even get a brief tiny glimpse of the seldom spotted crown. Let's take a look. A tiny flash of reddy orange feathers, which they raise in moments of display or agitation. Later we caught up with it, just as it was spitting out a couple of pellets. It happens fast, so we'll slow the footage down. Most people think of owls when it comes to pellets, but lots of birds do this. For a kingbird, it's the leftovers, the crunchy insect shells and tough berry skins, all pressed together in the gizzard and brought up once they're of no use.
Pretty awesome. We came here for least bitten, once bitten, twice shy though. We also got American bittern. Sarah just went for a little wander up the road, turned and saw it right out on the edge of the marsh. Let's take a look. Good eye, Sarah.
Yeah, that was a nice pick.
Here's another of the marsh's secretive herons, well spotted by Sarah, the American bittern. Larger and bulkier than the delicate least bittern that we just saw, but using the same camouflage tricks to stay hidden. This one is waiting in ambush at the edge of the grasses, which are a little greener at this time of the year, making the bird easier to spot. But don't tell them we said that.
Well guys, a nice little spot here, but I think it's time for us to go back to the cottage. Stay tuned, we'll show you around a little bit. Quebec is a province dominated by water and forest. At its heart lies the St. Lawrence, a river so vast it becomes an estuary feeding tidal flats, rocky islands and sea cliffs alive with birds. Beyond the river, endless boreal forest stretches across the land. Dark spruce and pine filled with warblers, thrushes and crossbills, their song filling the canopy. Along the river's edge, wetlands and estuaries harbour herons, terns and shorebirds, each bound to the turning of the tide and the seasons. For birders, Quebec is a meeting place of forest and water, land and sea, north and south.
Here in Quebec, we'll explore those environments and the birds that depend on them.
Our few nights at Golden Lake were spent with misty mornings and starry nights. It was our first weekend away without birding since 2017, but then the Bitterns happened, but that's okay. We also had our own private spotted sandpiper and a family of ducklings beside the lake. At night, we would barbecue and have a campfire and see the stars. I don't have the best equipment for astrophotography, but I experimented with trying to capture the Milky Way rising over Golden Lake. We also did some kayaking. Not too many birds out here though. And unfortunately there was a bit of a capsizing incident where my phone got dunked. The onboard camera used for this footage also got dunked. It did survive, but the last few seconds of footage got corrupted, so I'm sorry, you don't get to see me fall in the water. Let's move on. A little closer to home, with the evening sun setting behind the trees.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Quite a lot of time has passed. It's now the end of August 30th. Things have started to cool down a little bit and we're not too far away from a push of migration as we head towards fall. Today we have come to Rotary Park. We were hoping that there might be some shorebirds here, but to be honest with you, we've already kind of walked around the park. We had a look over the lake, we had a look over the creek here. We really didn't see too much. We were hoping for some shorebirds that have been reported over the last little while, but there's not very much to see. But don't worry, that isn't the primary reason that we are here. Sarah, what have we come looking for this evening actually? It's about 7 o'clock.
So our target bird today is the Common Nighthawk.
They've been reported as flying over this area that we're stood at the moment, kind of a parking area just outside of Rotary Park. So we're going to wait around a little bit, wait for the sun to go down and see if we can get Common Nighthawk. That would be a lifer for us actually. There were actually reports just past this pergola I'm walking past of Common Nighthawks, or one of them, perched in the trees somewhere around here. We have already had a quick look and we're not seeing it, but we are fairly confident that the Nighthawks will come out and be hunting insects just as we kind of hit dusk, so waiting for the sun to go down. We did just see a merlin, so let's take a look at that.
Somehow, we still need a peregrine falcon, but we've seen tons of merlins this year. Every time a falcon flies past, we're like, oh, quick, get the camera, but then it just ends up being yet another merlin. Not that we don't like merlins. Sorry, buddy.
Okay guys, distracted by the merlin. We just saw a common nighthawk, but I didn't get it on camera, wasn't expecting it. It's out a little bit earlier than I thought. As you know by now, we have to get it on camera, so we're going to wait around, see if some more come out for us in the next few minutes.
While we wait, some other birds we saw. This osprey circling over the lake when we first arrived, and it was a bit lighter. And closer to our new Nighthawk position, we got challenging views of one of the tougher to ID warblers at this time of the year. Care to guess? It's in full plumage and it looks quite different to its breeding plumage. We have a bay-breasted warbler here.
Common Nighthawk.
Challenging to film these birds in flight, but you can tell what it is. Common Nighthawk. As daylight fades, the Common Nighthawk takes to the sky. They spend the day resting and then sweep through the dusk after moths and beetles, their long wings with bold white patches cutting silhouettes against the last light. By late summer, they're feeding with more urgency, building reserves for a remarkable journey, one that will take them from Ontario all the way to the forests of South America. Now, I don't want to make you any more seasick with shaky flight footage, so let's move on.
Okay guys, Nighthawk, we got it. That's a lifer. Awesome. And it's of course a new bird for the count too. As you can see, the sun's starting to go down, so I think it's time to wrap up. There's also been a catbird yelling at us. It's gone quiet now, but I think he wants to go to bed too. Next time you hear from us, we're heading into Quebec, so we're hoping to pick up a whole bunch of birds there, including some lifers, lots of shorebirds being reported and that kind of thing. Still need a couple more warblers. Maybe we'll get those too. Please do all the nice things that help us out. If you please like this video and also leave us a comment. Any kind of engagement helps the videos get out there for more people to find them. Sarah?
If you haven't already, please subscribe, and after subscribing, select the bell for notifications of new videos.
Stay tuned to the channel, guys. We'll be back soon. In the meantime, thanks for watching, happy birding, and bye for now.
Bye!